All right, hello everyone, and welcome to the Lore Council. This is Cade, and I am joined today once again, as is the norm on Fridays, with Keith.
Uh, yeah, sure, and then any other day of the week.
And whatever. Well, it's just because, we've gotten in the habit of doing the Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Fridays, besides last week.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, you're guaranteed,
Sure.
guaranteed Keith on a Friday.
Yeah.
Will help usher you into the weekend with Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Well, actually, it is woohoo, because this week the episode was actually good. Really good. I really liked it.
What a shocker.
Yeah, like literally, well, last night, obviously, we put out our episode 3 review because it was a week late just because I had been out of town, and then all we did for basically 30 minutes was, dump on it because it was boring and slow and nothing was cool, and then, yeah, now we're out of the frickin' trench and on to a good episode.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I don't know, this episode was like, I think 5 times better than last week's episode.
Yeah, I'd probably say about that. But yeah, no, episode 4, The World is Watching. I wonder why it could be called that. Definitely not of anything that happened at the ending. But to jump into it, basically we start off and Bucky persuades Ao, who is the Wakandan woman from last week who confronts him that they want Zemo, to give him some more time, which she obliges.
Oh, yeah, we get to see Bucky's flashback where
Oh,
it's
yeah, where
shown
the
that
episode
this
opens.
lady, she like helped get him. I guess the Wakandans helped get him out of his or break his mind control, right? Or
Yeah,
like his programming thing.
yeah, and it was really cool. Like, we have, like, he's basically, like, getting, like, a therapy, and, like, she goes through his code words, and he's like, oh, it's not gonna work. And then it doesn't work, and it's very, very nice. And it reminds us all that Bucky never should have cut his hair.
Yeah, I teared up a little bit because strong stuff, man. He's really good. This is exactly what I asked for last week. I asked for more depth, and right out of the gate in this episode, we get it.
Yeah, they heard you when they filmed it a year ago in the future.
They heard me yesterday when I transmitted my thoughts backwards in time.
Nice time travel paradox. But no, so from there they go through Latvia, Zemo, Falcon, and Bucky. They go through, and we get a scene where Zemo is really fucking creepy with some kids and, like, offers them, like, candy in return for, like, information, because they're trying to track Carly Morgenthau, her, like, not like her mother, but like her adoptive mother, I guess you would say.
Yeah, she died or something.
Yeah, she died, and so they're trying to track her to the mother's funeral. But yes, I don't know. I thought it was weird. I don't know if Zemo was saying the whole Baba Black Sheep, like if he was saying that out loud, but that was just fucking creepy.
Oh, yeah, no, he was singing that.
Why would the children talk to him when he walks up singing that like a diddler?
it's probably supposed to be something to kind of, draw them in, but also kind of calm them at the same time a little bit.
That would.
I like, when he brought up his son. I was like, oh, that's good. They brought that up. Get
Oh,
some
yeah.
good emoting from Mr. Brule.
Roll.
Well, wasn't there a scene before that where they were at I think Zemo's like pad or something?
Yeah, they were hanging out there, and they're basically just like talking about their plan, more or less.
Oh yeah, and they did this great scene. We were talking about like the super soldier serum and how it, corrupts, and it said it basically turns anyone who takes it into a supremacist or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, so Carly Morgenthau is a supremacist.
Yeah.
But then they bring up Steve, and I think Bucky said Steve wasn't corrupted. He's like, oh, there's not been another Steve Rogers or something. So I guess even though Zemo, destroyed the Avengers, right, from the inside and all that, I guess he still had, like, respect for Captain America on some
Yeah,
level,
well,
maybe?
I think it's just because, like, Captain America's, like, he's just, like, an unabashedly, like, good guy. Which obviously, you see through the whole MCU, so... Yeah, I think it's just more like Steve Rogers is just such a good guy, it transcends regular good guydom. is what I would say. But what do I know?
Not very much.
Not enough, apparently. But no, we get Zemo. He bribes some. He goes like full like Law and Order SVU and bribes some children to get them to tell him where the Carly Morgenthau's mom's funeral. What'd you say?
Yeah, where the funeral is.
Oh yeah, where the funeral is. But yeah, he also tells them, and I like it because it's Zemo. He's being like a dick to like his. Well, obviously they're not like friends. They're just like reluctant partners, and he like tells the kid, he's like, "Oh, those two guys over there, they're assholes. Don't tell them anything." And then
that I guess it kind of in the moment it works, but like later on you see he was kind of just covering his ass in that moment, really. Like you might think in that moment he's like planning on like betraying them or something.
Well,
but really he was just protecting himself because they might like toss him aside as soon as they found out
and I think that's exactly what he's doing. He's like making sure he's always going to be useful so he doesn't have to go back to prison.
Yep.
But no, from there they're intercepted by Mr. Jonathan Walker, aka the most popular character Marvel has ever put out. Everyone's a big John Walker fan, Captain America fan.
Yeah, what was his first scene in this episode? What was he doing?
It's literally just when he shows up in Latvia.
Oh. Wasn't there more? Didn't more happen?
No.
They get to the kids and then they leave and then he shows up.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say he's I don't know if he was I don't know if he was like kind of grizzled last week. Like was he shaved last week, like his face?
I think he probably had some like stubble. I think.
This week it's a lot more apparent that he's got stubble going on, and it definitely makes him look what's the word, like haggard,
Yeah, like grittier.
But no, like he looks like he's kind of falling apart a bit. He's losing his.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's losing. What's the word I'm looking for here?
His mojo.
He's losing composure.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no,
definitely.
I get that. Well, and it's I think it's like now that you bring that up, it's pretty well. It's really like contrasted, I guess, with Lamar Hoskins because like he's basically looked the same. He's had like, like the nice trimmed beard, nice haircut. So obviously Hoskins, I guess, has been keeping his composure maybe a bit better.
Yeah, he's been fine, but
yeah. Well, obviously,
Mr. Jack Daniels or whatever his name is
John Walker.
He is losing his shit.
Yeah, well, I imagine it's got to be stressful being Captain America when everybody hates you.
Well, I mean, just the people that knew Captain. Everybody else is like probably kissing his ass and stuff. Captain America.
Well, I don't know. Well, we'll get to that, but basically from here they formulate a plan, and that is Sam, since he used to work with like veterans who had like traumatic experiences, he's like, I'll talk with Carly Morgenthau like alone and just like try and get her to like end what she's doing. And
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
good use of Falcon.
Yes, yeah, I think it worked really well, and it kind of like ties back to like obviously what he used to do. So nice stuff, bringing in the past for Falcon, and then we get obviously John Walker, Captain America. He just wants to go in guns blazing and just like arrest her right there. Despite the fact that all the Flag Smashers are like super soldiers and would just break him in half like a twig.
Yeah, and he's super on edge. He's like pacing, complaining at Bucky and everything. He tries to get past Bucky. Bucky just like stands in the doorway like, move me.
Yeah. Well, and then they kind of bring it up, and I think it's a little bit of foreshadowing for what happens later. But Captain America's like, "Oh, you're." I don't remember exactly what he says, but he's like, "Oh, you're so tough, like with your serum and like inside you."
Oh yeah. It was a little weird, but I think most of it he was like, "Must be so easy with all that super soldier serum coursing through your veins."
Yeah, and then
a little wordy, but it works.
Yeah. But then we get Falcon basically crashes Morgenthau's mom's like funeral, and they have like a little heart to heart, and he's like, "Hey, like I totally get your cause. It's just like you're blowing people up."
Yeah.
more or less. And then, you know, she brings up all her stuff. She's like, oh, like, nobody cares. Like, you know, we're doing it for the people, et cetera, et cetera. And then...
Oh, yeah, and they finally explained her whole cause and how it relates to the blip with just like one sentence in this episode, which was when the people came back, like the people who were lost in the blip, you know, when the old people came back, they lost their new homes because they apparently after the blip, like countries were just taking in whoever the hell, you know, just to boost their people numbers, right? And so I guess there's all these empty homes around, so I guess like refugees would have gotten homes and whatnot. And then once everyone came back, they're like, "Oh no, these are actual people's homes. You guys leave."
Yeah, because that's like the whole thing.
That perfectly explains it for me.
Yeah, well, because I think it's like been like hinted to and like talked about a little bit before. Because since they're going against like the Global Repatriation Council, I think is what it's called. Like they're like raiding their stuff. Because obviously, I think that's like the organization that like stepped in and like removed all these people and stuff. That's why she's, you know, angry at them.
Yeah.
But no, from here we get John Walker breaks in and basically just, you know, tries to arrest a like superhuman.
Yeah.
And it does not go well, and we get some decent action. Bucky does some stuff, but then
you see that first little action part, I think Carly, she punched the shield of a Walker, and he turned or whatever and hit freaking Falcon in the face with the shield.
Yeah.
And Falcon just went down.
Yeah. And then but no, Morgenthau and the Flag Smashers are escaping, but then who else would show up but Zemo, and he shoots Morgenthau in the tummy. And
He's just gun.
Yeah, it's like gun. What's the old saying? God made all men, and then Joseph Browning made them all equal.
I thought it was Samuel Colt.
Samuel Colt. I don't know. It's one of the gunmaker guys. Anyways, the main point
they're
here.
Super soldiers, but they're not. they're not bulletproof.
Well, I think that's the thing is even with Captain America, he's not invulnerable.
Yeah, but they practically made him seem like that in all the movies. I guess no one ever thought to walk up to Captain America and shoot him.
Shoot him in the chest. Well, it's not like the super soldier serum makes you like Luke Cage, where you're just bulletproof. So I guess it makes sense. True. That's why he needs the shield.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you just then it brings up why don't you just shoot him in the legs? But then
he could ball up and use his shield to block his whole body.
Oh no, his tiny little 2-3 foot shield.
And then he'll duck walk while holding the shield towards you.
Oh no, the one man phalanx.
He's getting closer.
What do we do? But no, then we get to really cool scene where obviously Morgenthau, she was trying to escape with the super soldier serum. But, obviously she just got shot, and she, ducks behind a table.
Yeah, and these glass vials, I'll just, strap them to my back and just start running around and doing gymnastics.
Yeah, not her best plan. But, I bet she wasn't expecting someone to just, shoot her.
True.
So no, and then they're lying on the floor, and Zemo, he picks one up, and I thought for, a split second, I'm like, oh, he's gonna take this. He's gonna, make himself a superhuman. That way he can use his superhumanness to fight other superhumans.
Yeah, they make you think about it for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just crushes it like a little bug, and then starts stomping on the other ones.
Yep.
And then he is intercepted by Walker, who just bonks him with the shield.
He somehow doesn't die by getting.
Yeah, I was gonna say he definitely should have a major concussion or brain damage or something, because
he didn't even have a mark on his head.
Yeah, no. But no, so then... Yeah, Walker comes in, apprehends Zemo, and turns out there is one vial of super soldier serum left. Whoa!
Yep.
So yeah, they end up going back to Zemo's pad, I think, I'm assuming?
Yeah, Zemo has he has an ice pack on his head or something.
Yeah, he has a ice pack, and he's having some booze. Trying to, which I think would, if you just had brain damage, that would be the last thing you would want to do. But no, and then the Wakandans show up and try to apprehend Zemo, and John Walker tries to like posture, and he's like, "No, sorry, you don't have jurisdiction." And then that was a pretty dope line. The AO, she's like, "Oh, the wherever the Dora Milaje go, we have jurisdiction." And then they have. I thought this was a cool little fight with everyone where we had some good choreography. Like the Wakandans are using their.
My favorite part is Zemo just standing in the background.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a pretty good like comic relief, and then he just like Homer Simpson into the shrubs. He goes into his bathroom and shuts the door.
I'm just gonna excuse myself for a second.
And then I think the best part of this was John Walker, like he's doing something over by a table, and one of the Wakandans like throws her spear through the straps on his shield and like pins him down.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really dope.
And then later, once he's free though, he gets bonked again, and he gets his shield taken away.
Yeah, and then they open up the bathroom door, and I thought it was such a lame reference. It's such a dated reference, but. Zemo escapes, and Falcon is like, "I can't believe he did an El Chapo," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like,
I mean, considering this is like, I don't know, I think it's like 8 years on from our actual timeline. You know, like it's an even more dated reference in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but yeah, that was fine. My favorite part was when Walker was just like, they weren't even super soldiers.
Yeah.
Because like he'd only gotten his ass kicked before by the super soldiers. Now he has an inferiority complex.
Oh no. But no, from there, we kind of get going, and then Morgenthau calls Sam's sister and basically threatens her to like get Sam to meet with her.
Right.
And, basically from there, we kind of go there, and we have a nice little scene between Lamar and John Walker where they're, like, discussing, and, like, Walker asks him, he's like, "Oh, would you take the super soldier serum if you had the chance?" And he's like, "Oh, well, yeah, like, it would have, like, you know, like, I guess they were talking about how, like, they were in Afghanistan, and they're like, you know, we could have saved so many lives if we had this then." And we get some good stuff, I think, for Walker that makes him, like, a little bit more of, like, I guess kind of like a deeper character where he's like, you know, "Oh, yeah, like, you know, you and I both know that what I did to get, like, my Medal of Honors, like, you know, you couldn't consider it good. Like, being Captain America is the only time, like, I've been able to feel like I'm doing something good." So he's, like, obviously, like, in his own, like, head, like, he sees what he's doing is, like, okay and, like, good and stuff.
Yeah, because he thinks he's being Captain America.
Yeah, exactly. And then, we get over to, they go to meet with Carly Morgenthau, and, does it just, like, start off with, like, a fight?
Almost immediately, because they, like, show up, and then Sam gets, like, a message that, people be coming.
Yeah, and then, but no, I really liked all these action scenes. I thought they were really cool. Falcon was getting to do some good stuff with, like, his wings and jetpack and stuff.
Yeah, and you had some good tension with, like, when John first gets in there.
Yeah.
You know, like he's listening and he's very quiet.
Yeah, because they like take Lamar away and like drag him off, and like because he like runs up the stairs, bursts through a door like using the shield, and then like he's just like listening and like breathing. I thought it was a really cool like tense scene. And then he chases him down, and everyone has a fight, and Morgenthau, like, the second she runs in, she just punches Lamar, and he gets launched back into, like a pillar, and just, like, well, assumingly, like, just breaks every bone and, like, in his back and, like, neck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is dead, like, on impact. And then I kind of like it that she, like, it... Did she have a mask on or no? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but I think... Yeah, because even, like, with the mask on, like, I could, like, you can tell, like, oh, like, she feels shitty for what she just did. And everyone just kind of looks.
I mean, what did she expect, though?
Yeah, I'm not really
He punched this
sure.
dude so hard with that much force into a freaking pillar.
Yeah, well, and then yeah, basically, well, no, it happens.
Yeah,
It happens earlier where you find out that Walker has taken the serum, because like he kicks a flag smasher like through a door down a flight of stairs. The dude tries to swing a pipe at him, and at this point, Falcon has like gotten to where like they are, and he like sees it. He like catches like the pipe and like bends it around the dude's arm, and it's like, oh yeah, he took the super soldier serum. But no, then after Lamar dies, Cap chases down one of the flag smashers and brutally beats him to death in front of a bunch of civilians who are recording it on their phones.
Yep. Some bad PR right there.
That is some exceptionally bad PR.
I thought he was gonna like decapitate the dude with his shield, but it just seems like he just like freaking caved in his chest with the shield by beating him.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal as far as like Marvel stuff goes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think like really up until then, like the worst thing we got was like Thanos killing Loki. So
Yeah, has there been like has there been that much blood in Marvel before?
Off the top of my head, I really don't think so.
Yeah, it never really get that bloody. It was pretty.
No, obviously like the movies are like what PG-13, so yeah, definitely getting some more graphic violence and blood and guts in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But I liked it. Like it's just like.
Yeah, it wasn't too much. It was just the right amount of.
It didn't like go over the top and like it never shows you like explicitly like, oh, this dude's chest is now like a hole.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of like see like some blood like on his arm and like blood dripping off the shield. But no, it looked really good. Oh
yeah, that shot where he's holding the shield with the blood on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the actor's name? Wyatt Russell. He has like really good like crazy angry face. I bought that he was Angie.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But no, really good. And again, I still sit through all these episodes thinking that there's going to be like a mid or an end credit scene or something. It's going to happen one of these weeks. Only 2 episodes.
Was the credit scene different this time? It seemed
yeah.
I watched it. It's a little different.
It seemed like I don't know if it the background like slideshow changed, but the music was definitely different. It was a lot more like somber, depressing music, obviously to fit the mood. So.
Oh, and at the beginning, where there's that little picture of Cap, I noticed Battlestar's signature.
Oh, cool.
Because he said he signs it with a little star.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, because I was going to say, you had mentioned it earlier, like, oh, like, I bet a lot of people are kissing Captain America's ass. And it's like, yeah, like, when when Walker and Lamar are talking, like, a woman comes up to him and, like, asks for his autograph.
yeah, he's like super nice, signs it and everything. She leaves, he's like, oh.
Yeah. But no, so yeah, like obviously that lady probably is not a Captain America fan anymore, to say the least.
Right.
But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this episode. It was a lot like the pacing was just a lot better. Like it was like, you had little times to breathe, like when you're at like Zemo's like house and whatever, and then you had those little times to breathe, and then right back into the plot. And I think they're doing a good job of like having Cap, Bucky and Sam, and then the Flag Smashers, like their plots are all like converging, and now it's really like sped up, like when they're gonna like fully intersect and have like the big showdown.
Right.
So, and I still think that John Walker is gonna get a tiny little redemption arc. I think they're building him up as like this big bad douchey guy, and then he's gonna get like a little redemption thing like towards the end. Like I don't know. I still think
either that or he is just gonna be the straight up like villain and final boss of the series.
Oh.
And once he's defeated, Falcon becomes the Cap.
Then he becomes Captain America again.
Or Bucky. Who knows?
Or Bucky. I think it's definitely gonna be. I think it's gonna be Falcon is gonna become Captain America. Because it's kind of like setting him up for his arc to like reclaim the shield.
Yeah.
Because I think it would kind of like, I guess, cheapen if they like kind of like after like, oh, Steve gives it to him at the end of Endgame, and then for like Sam to turn around and for a second time be like, no, actually, Bucky, you take the shield.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But no, that's just me. I think, this episode does have me like last week. I was not hyped to watch this episode, but now I'm hyped to see what happens next week because obviously we'll be dealing with the fallout from Captain America murdering a guy.
Right? Yeah, same. It still feels like we took a little too long to get to this point, but
yeah, it would have been nice if this episode was last week's episode.
Yeah.
I think would have worked out way, way better.
It just cut out some of the fat from like the first episode, and yep.
Yeah, so I mean, God, you even could have had like Zemo probably get broken out of prison like this episode, and then everything still be the same. But that's just me. But yeah, overall, I really liked it. I don't really have much more to add except it was a good episode this week.
Yep, a much better episode. And I'm excited for the next one. See, I called it they put the hook this episode, and then the finale is going to be like the next 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where they take it. Do you have any big, bold predictions for next week? That'll come true. You're a prophet now, so.
Maybe not next week, but I definitely am thinking that, the Walker is going to be the big bad final boss of the season. Indeed.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, I guess with that, this is episode 4 of The Falcon and Winter Soldier finished up, and this is Cade from the Lore Council signing off.
And this is Keith. We'll see y'all later.